Hi guys, so in this quick video I'm going to explain some fundamentals on helping you build your own sports brand. So whether you're looking to start your own sports coaching company, your own physical sports brand, like myself, for you guys that might not know, I've got my own goalkeeping gloves out called J4K goalkeeping gloves, which is in the football or soccer niche, or football's the proper way, by the way, guys. So I'm trying to give you some fundamentals. Now this is not an extensive list, but this is just to get some newbies off the ground. So some of it, what I'm going to explain here, might come across as really obvious, okay? But this is why sadly most people fail when they start their own sports business, because they miss out on the obvious. So the first thing that you need is experience. Okay, experience. So for example, myself, I was a goalkeeper. I was a professional goalkeeper. Now, actually, to be successful in your own sports business or own sports brand, you don't have to have been professional, by the way. Obviously, it helps, okay, if you did play at a high level, but if you've got some type of experience in the sport that you played, that is really going to help, because when you start developing your brand or your coach or whatever you decide to do in your sports business, obviously you're going to be getting asked a lot of questions, and if you can't answer those questions, obviously people will second guess yourself. And especially if you want to start your own sports brand, you know, again, like myself with my goalkeeping gloves, you've got to know exactly, you know, what type of product that you are obviously looking for your own sports brand. And if you've had experience and you've worn numerous sports apparatus or equipment, you're going to be best suited obviously to produce a physical brand, a physical sports brand, if you've had experience in your chosen sport. Like I say, I'm not saying that you've had to play professional. You might have played semi-professional, amateur, or even if you just played it as a hobby, that gives you an unfair advantage on someone else in your sports niche who's not had that experience. The second thing that you need as well, guys, okay, and I know this sounds again really obvious, is passion. I've met so many sports entrepreneurs who've got the experience but for their sport, but they've not got the passion. Okay, sounds crazy, okay? Now, even on like my background is football, like I say, I've already mentioned, I played in goal professionally, soccer, football. I actually not really got a passion for football. I actually don't really watch football, it doesn't interest me. Thankfully, I enjoy goalkeeping, and if you know anything about goalkeeping is like its own sport within football and soccer, guys. So that's what's allowed me to continue to build my brand for nearly 30 years now. But I know so many people, so many sports entrepreneurs who started their own coaching business or sports brand. They had the experience. They thought because they were an ex-professional athlete that they were automatically going to be successful. But the reason why they failed is they never had a passion, okay? They never had a passion for the sport. So you've got to have passion as well. So you actually could be someone as well, by the way. You might not have had experience in your chosen sport. Let's say, for example, you love UFC. I'm a massive UFC fan. So let's say that you love UFC, but you've actually never physically competed or trained. If you've got a passion for UFC, you can go make an income in your own business. There's so many people that have started UFC news channels, etc., and they've gone on to become hugely successful. So experience and passion is super important. But I'd actually say passion actually trumps experience, by the way, because like I say, if someone's got the experience but not got the passion, the chances of them being successful can be very slim. But if someone's got the passion and not the experience, okay, you've got a greater chance of basically becoming a success in your sports business. Number 3, ask for help, okay? Hopefully you can read this dodgy writing. Ask for help. Where everyone goes wrong, this was myself in the early days, you don't ask for help. And this comes from our poor school. And if you get to know me personally, guys, you know that I'm not a big lover of our educational system. I think for the most part it's terrible. And one of the things that the schooling system teaches ourselves is that we're weak if we act, you know, that we're stupid or we're weak, or that we're a cheat if we ask for help. Obviously, when you're doing exams in school, etc., if you ask for someone for help, you can be kicked out of school, kicked out of class, kicked out of the exam, because you're called a cheat for asking for help. And what happens, and again, without contradicting myself, you understand why they do that in a school setting. But the problem is, we go through our childhood wrongly thinking that it's wrong to ask for help and advice. But in the real world, it's called collaboration. Okay, yeah. That's bad spelling there. It's called collaboration, okay? You ask for help in the real world, I promise you guys, okay? Try and forget what we were taught in school. If you ask for help and you get mentors, that will turbocharge your success, especially if you ask for help for someone in the same sports niche as yourself, because you can learn from all their mistakes. So don't be afraid to ask for help. It's a massive mistake trying to do this on your own. I wasted about 10 years of my life thinking I had to do it on my own. As soon as I started finding mentors, that's when my business absolutely exploded. Also as well, number 4, you need to become thick-skinned. Okay, yeah. Apologies for the touchy writing, guys. You've got to be thick-skinned. I will guarantee the moment you start your sports coaching business or sports brands, people will come out of the woodwork. When you start doing videos like this or promoting on whatever social media platform, you're going to get the haters. Now, in the early days, like anyone, obviously that sort of affected me. Okay, yeah. But obviously, the more you get people throw abuse at you, you realise it doesn't mean it's just water off the duck's back now. So you've got to learn to be thick-skinned, okay? So the best advice I can give you, I know it might be difficult for some people, especially if you suffer from underconfidence, you to expect you're going to have people are going to laugh at you, mock you, slaughter you, etc. Just ignore them. Don't answer them back. Don't think that you can change their mind. Don't even worry about them. I'll guarantee 99%, 100% of people who are knocking you and mocking you online, they're the biggest losers in the world. And the reason why they're knocking and mocking you is because they've got no life. Because anyone that's doing something anyone doing something worthwhile in their life, they've not got the time to knock others. And that type of person who's succeeding in life anyway would never dream, even if they didn't agree with someone, they would never dream of knocking them or mocking them. They'd actually reach out and try to help, because that's the type of character they are. That makes sense. So again, I learned this the hard way. Okay, yeah, like it affected me in the early. Obviously, I started my sports brands when I was young. Okay, yeah, but now, like I say, guys, it doesn't matter what anyone says about me, my ideas. I just go delete. Okay, or better still, I just get my team now, they just go delete. Don't even answer them back. They're not worth your time, guys. Okay, remember, the people who are knocking you and mocking you, they are the biggest losers in the world. Okay, because if they were doing anything worthwhile in life, they'd be chasing their dreams rather than knocking somebody else for chasing their dreams. And last but not least, guys, okay, yeah, never ever give up. If you just listen and follow this one advice, obviously go through everything there, guys, but once you start your own sports business, okay, if you just do this one thing and you never quit, you never stop, you never give up, you keep going, I will guarantee you will have success. The reason why most unfortunately sports entrepreneurs fail is because they give up. When I was chasing my dream to become a professional goalkeeper when I was a child, there were so many goalkeepers who were better than me, physically bigger than me, technically better than me as a goalkeeper, but they gave up after the first or 10 or 20th attempt. I was still going, even though after I was getting rejected 50, 60, 70 times, I kept going, and eventually I achieved my dream to become a professional goalkeeper. When I started my own sports brands, again, I had hit so many hurdles. I had no idea what I was doing. And sometimes I've still no idea what I'm doing, guys, but one thing I do, as soon as if I make a mistake or something fails, I just go again, okay? Immediately forget about it and go again. If you never ever quit, if you never ever give up, I will guarantee whatever sports niche that you want to start, whether it's a sports coaching business, start your own physical sports brand like me with the J4K goalkeeping gloves, I will guarantee you'll have all the success in the world. So I hope that helps, guys. Any questions, please comment below, and also make sure that you join my free online academy called Total Sports Mastery, where I help sports entrepreneurs all over the world develop their own 6 or even 7-figure sports business brand.